Hello and welcome to Yorkshire Voice on Friday the 27th of March. I'm Hannah de Villiers.
And I'm Timmy Fekete.
On the programme tonight, Mind the Gap, uproar as commuters criticise the £7.8 million upgrade of a train station.
The fall of Fergie, the former Duchess, is stripped of a key honour by York Council.
And new beginnings as spring lambs help vulnerable people rebuild their lives.
But first, tonight, over £7 million has been spent to upgrade Menston Station, but the improved services have been criticised by passengers.
A new lift and walkway have been installed, but rail users say the knee-high gap between the train and the platform remains an issue. I went along earlier today to see for myself. Menston train station has seen an investment of £7.8 million into its infrastructure under the government Access for All scheme to ensure greater accessibility for train users. Although the works finished earlier this month, a significant gap is still causing problems for travellers. The works, completed in partnership with West Yorkshire Combined Authority and Northern Rail, included lifts, a footbridge and other improvements, but did not fix the train to platform gap on platform 2. Passengers are now calling for a Harrington hump, which would raise the platform to train height, allowing for easier access.
I think the gap's too high. My wife particularly struggles to get into the train, but I don't know what they can do about it. We're all grateful residents that we've still got it, because it's very useful getting into Leeds and down to London. We'll just have to put up with that.
I had an incident recently where my sister-in-law, who is partially disabled, she has a problem with her legs, and she actually fell getting onto the train and her leg went down between the train and the platform. It literally happened 2 months ago, so she now won't travel from this station. She gets a train to Guiseley instead when she visits us because she's really concerned about getting the train on her own. It is really dangerous. Something needs to be done about it.
A spokesperson for Network Rail said step-free access to and between the platform is provided by a modern, fully accessible footbridge with lifts and an accessible footpath. They say the investment is making a difference to people with reduced mobility travelling with prams and luggage. Northern's passenger assist remains available for those needing support. The people of Menston have seen it, they've said it, let's hope it gets sorted.
Well, if you tuned in yesterday, you may remember our reporter spoke to people in York about whether Sarah Ferguson should be allowed to keep the honorary title of the Freedom of York. It follows controversy over her links to the convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Last night, York councillors decided to strip the former royal of the title in a unanimous vote. Our reporter, Barney Nightingale, in York for us now.
I'm here outside York City Council offices where last night councillors voted to remove the honour of the Freedom of the City of York from Sarah Ferguson. This is a title that she's held since 1987 due to her marriage to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, which was voted on unanimously last night to be removed. Today we've been speaking to members of the public in York to understand their opinions on this decision.
She's very deserving of what she's got. Take it away from her.
I mean, the royal family shouldn't exist anyway. And it's just one big soap opera. Leave her alone. Let her make the mistakes we all make. And just let her get on with it. I don't care about Sarah Ferguson. And I think you'll find most people don't.
I think that she'd be locked up.
What I think about Sarah Ferguson is that she puts money before morals.
She's done some stupid things. I don't know how much is illegal and what's illegal, but she has done some stupid things, and she shouldn't have it, should she?
This decline in popularity comes from millions of documents that were released by the US Department of Justice relating to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, where Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and Sarah Ferguson's relationship with Epstein came under scrutiny by the public and have seen their royal titles removed last year. And Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and Sarah Ferguson have denied any wrongdoing towards Jeffrey Epstein.
Thanks, Barney. Now for some news in brief with Eve Ward.
Thank you, Hannah. Leeds City Council has revealed the new look of Dawson Corner Junction between Bradford and Leeds. Work to upgrade the junction began in May last year. The aim is to reduce congestion, improve safety and create better routes for all road users. The upgraded intersection is to be completed by early next year. Snooker's set to stay in Sheffield. The World Snooker Championship will continue to be held at the Crucible Theatre, its home since 1977. The deal between Sheffield City Council and the World Snooker Tour will keep the premier event in the Steel City for the next 2 decades. Plans are also in place to transform the venue into a circular seating arrangement with the potential to add 500 extra seats. Leeds City Council have blocked plans to convert student accommodation in Headingley into a hostel for asylum seekers. The Home Office applied for a change of use for Mary Morris House last August. And that's your news in brief. Back to Timmy and Hannah in the studio.
Thanks, Evie. Now, Barnsley Council is introducing new technology to schools, local businesses and health centres. The hope is that the inclusion of AI will improve the quality and speed of public services. Kaylee Beasley has more.
Barnsley is a proud industrial town in South Yorkshire known primarily for its coal mining, but more recently it has been named the UK's first government-backed tech town. Technology giants like Microsoft, Cisco, Adobe and Google are backing the plans.
Last night saw the opening event for Barnsley's digital campus called The Seam, after Phase 1 of development plans were completed. The plans included urban parks, improved parking, and 3 Yorkshire Roses to show off the town's pride in its county. The council hopes that this will make Barnsley a hub for tech, digital, and creative businesses.
I think it looks beautiful, really. It's a good, nice addition to the town. Really impressed with it. I think but what the money they've spent in Barnsley is money well spent, and people are coming in from all over. My son came up at the weekend from London and said how impressive it was. It's a new Leeds, so fingers crossed we're getting there.
Barnsley's designation as the UK's first government-backed tech town marks a defining moment for the region. But not everyone in Barnsley wants this change.
I always think that when something's being implemented on us, it should be equal for everybody. If AI is going to be implemented into things, then people have to understand what the technology is in the first place. And you're going to have a generation that doesn't understand it and going to get left behind in everything that happens. If AI is going to take over and it's implemented by authorities, it's not something that you can choose over. It's something that will happen because it's been implemented on you. It's here today and gone tomorrow in 6 months' time. So it's a question of just, especially the older generation, being able to keep up with such things.
The challenge now is making sure this digital future is shaped with the community, not just for it.
Now, a new documentary has been made about what it means to be a working-class woman in academia.
The film, called Jo's Story, follows the life of Jo Hopton, a university academic at Leeds Trinity University.
And I'm delighted to say documentary maker Dr. Amanda Nuttall is here with us now and is going to tell us all about it. But first, let's have a look at a clip from the film.
Working class family background, mum worked in a factory, dad worked out on the roads, and that was typical of everybody within our family. So for us it was about doing well at school and then leaving school and getting a job. That was always instilled in us about what we needed to do.
Amanda, thanks for being with us. What inspired you to make the documentary?
I think it came from 2 things. So one was some research that I did with some working class women as part of my doctoral studies, but also it was inspired by my own experiences. So like Jo, I was a first in family to university, went into a career as a teacher, which is a really common pathway for working class girls, teaching, nursing, social work. They're really common careers. And then I came to the university in 2013 as a teacher educator. But a couple of years after that, I started doing a part-time doctorate at the University of Oxford. And that felt really exciting, but it was really challenging. And I had a real sense of imposterism while I was there. So I started reading around gender and class and higher education. And I found out actually there's lots of women like me who've had similar experiences, but I hadn't been aware of it up until that point.
And so why are stories like Jo's so important to tell on camera?
I think it's about building a community and building that shared sense of we're not individuals just having an individual experience, but we've got a collective experience to share. And as universities move more towards professional education, like at Leeds Trinity, lots more of our academics are working class women. But working class women are really underrepresented in senior leadership and in research outcomes as well. So I think by telling our stories, we understand what some of the barriers are that mean we are underrepresented, but also where we can find spaces to support each other and help each other flourish. So hopefully we can break down some of those barriers together.
Yeah, thank you. We actually watched the documentary and it was fantastic. So thanks very much for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And now here's to Jordan with a preview of the weekend sport.
Thanks, Hannah. Yes, plenty of sporting action heading into the weekend, starting with last night's rugby league as Castleford Tigers beat Bradford Bulls 40-28. Jason Gary scored a first half hat-trick at the One Ball Stadium. Staying in rugby league, Wakefield face York tonight, Hull KR host St Helens, Huddersfield face Wigan, Hull FC host Catalan, and Leeds play Warrington in the league's 30th anniversary game. In football, 4 Leeds players featured for Wales last night, including Dan James, who scored as Craig Bellamy's side were knocked out of the World Cup qualifiers. Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland's campaigns also came to an end. England face Uruguay in a friendly tonight, and Leeds star Dominic Calvert-Lewin could feature for the first time since 2021. Goal for now, and Wakefield's Dan Bradbury is putting up an impressive display in the Indian Open. He was 4 under par after round 1 with 5 birdies and finished the day in the top 25 players. That's your sport, back to you.
Thank you, Jordan. Now, farms across the Yorkshire region are showcasing their work during one of the busiest times of the year, lambing season.
In Leeds, one farm is combining that tradition with something even more powerful. Rebecca Swales has this report.
Spring is here. For many farmers, lambing season is well underway. On the outskirts of Leeds is a farm with a big difference, Crag House Farm. Although lambing season welcomes a new life on farms across the country, at this farm, those beginnings go beyond the fields.
Caring for Life is a Christian charity that looks after adults at risk. Adults come up to different projects on the farm. This is the agricultural project, and we have the sheep, and then we also have cows. And also our breed of cows are very docile, so they're a gentle breed that works well with the guys that we look after. They get to spend time on the farm and learn new skills, and it's great. I love that we get to share it with the guys that come up, and they just get to do things that they've maybe never done before, and get to experience new life in the lambs or in the calves, or just the variety of different things. Lambing is when we bring all the sheep in to have their babies. This year we've got 43 pregnant ewes, and we've nearly finished lambing, so we've only got 1 ewe left. The youngest was born last night, so in the middle of the night, twin lambs were born, and really healthy, happy little lambs.
Spring may mark the start of life for these lambs, but here in Leeds it's also a fresh start for people rebuilding theirs. Rebecca Swales for Yorkshire Voice.
And now it's time to find out what those springtime weather has in store for us, as well as the lambs this weekend. Honor Doyle is out in Horsford making the most of the sunshine.
Thanks, yes, I'm here with the blue sky, and this weekend it's going to be fairly mixed across the region with a combination of cold, sunshine, showers and some breezier conditions. This evening will be damp and cloudy around Leeds and Bradford, as well as parts of South Yorkshire. There's also possible light rain over in East Yorkshire. Tomorrow will be much fresher, with showers starting the day off in the Yorkshire Dales. However, in York and Wakefield there should be a mix of sunshine and showers, and that's the weather. Back to you.
Thanks, Honor. Well, that's all we've got time for you today.
So to all at home, remember that the clocks are going forward by an hour this Saturday.
So if you've got any analogue clocks at home, make sure to change them on Sunday morning. All the digital ones will be fine. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.